The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you've connected with us on Meetup, great to have you on board. If you've connected with us in other forms and mediums, it's great to have you here. And myself and Lan, I'm going to introduce Lan to you very shortly, are going to talk to you about the Success Business Accelerator and the project and the excitement that we've got running through. So just to kick it all off, let me introduce Lan. Lan, are you there?
Hello everyone.
Hello. All right. So Lan is the founder of the Success Accounting Group. She's a chartered accountant and a mumpreneur. She's down here in Melbourne along with me, and a little bit of the background of Lan. She's completed a Bachelor of Commerce. She's done a Diploma of Financial Planning, and she's 3/4 of the way through her Master of Tax. A Master of Tax. That sounds pretty awesome, Lan. All right.
Thank you, Peter.
I've got a whole lot of notes here that tell me all bits and pieces, but what I'd really want to do, just tell us a little bit about yourself and something that I don't know and that other people don't know, just as a way to get to know you a bit more.
Thank you, Peter. So Peter, as you know, I am a mum of 3 beautiful and healthy kids, and the reason why for starting up my business is to break away from the 50-hour or 60-hour work week of a corporate accountant, working in the Big Four. So, and having 3 kids, you want them to spend the time with them and when they're young, and so but also create the financial freedom and future for them as well. So starting my business allowed me to do that, and also allowed me to follow and pursue the passion of helping other businesses start up and create a financial future roadmap for them,
cool.
as I've done so the last 10 years. Yeah. So,
nice.
And also, yeah, Peter, tell me a bit more about yourself and what you have experienced in the last 20 or 30 years of your business.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been a business coach and business strategist since 2009. I've worked for myself since I was 23, and I've had 4 businesses, all from startup. So I love getting an idea. I love playing around with it, testing it, creating it, and that's my art. That's the way I express, is to go and create something and then take it to the market and do something with it. And that's where I am today, having done that with this business. Done it as a married man, done it as a single father. I have 5 children, and back in the early 2000s was when I started my last business, and I did that as a single dad with the 5 children and studying and doing all sorts of things. So I've got the Diploma of Business, Diploma of Management. I've done postgraduate studies in entrepreneurship and innovation at Swinburne. I've got stacks. I've got so many different bits and pieces but I just love all of that. But what I want to do is really connect with the people who are on the call. So we've got quite a few people who have joined us. What I'd really encourage you to do and invite you to is just in the question box, you'll see it on the dashboard there. Can you introduce yourselves to us now? You've heard us rabbit on for a little bit, and we're going to do a fair bit of that. But really, let's connect with you. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're at, the business you've got?
Industry?
Yeah, the industry you're in. Just give us a snapshot of who you are so we can really get an understanding. And I'm going to go through and read out the answers to everybody, so we all know who's on the line and what's going on around here. Okay, so, and while you guys are typing that in, I'll just give you a bit of housekeeping. This is an opportunity. We're here to talk to you about the Success Business Accelerator. We also want to give you some great value in terms of understanding your business a whole lot more. And we want to be able to connect with you in ways that really make a difference to you. So at any time through the webinar, just if you've got a question, type it in. If you've got a light bulb moment, share it with us. If there's anything that you need to know, just tap in. We've got the questions going through there the whole time, so we'll be able to get into them as you go. So if you've got questions, just type or, introduce yourself. Okay, there's a few of you that are light on. So if you want to go through and introduce yourselves, that'll be great. Okay, so don't be shy. nobody's going to bite at you, and but we'd really like to get to know you a little bit more. Okay, so while you're doing that, let's just keep moving on, shall we, Lan? So
Yes.
let's do this.
So
How about if I move the slides a little bit? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, we've got...
Welcome, Wes. Welcome, Leah.
Yeah. Mel runs a legal consulting business. Great. Beautiful. Thank you. Suresh, selling IT services in healthcare and medical consumables. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much. Sarah, welcome. Good to have you on board. Sarah is a communication consultant working with the government. Brilliant. Okay, nice. So we've got a good spread of people coming through already. And just keep going, keep introducing yourselves. Gerald, 3x5x7, been a company secretary and accountant for international companies, been a sales rep through to national sales and marketing manager for multinationals. Wow, okay. That keeps you very busy, I'm sure.
Hello, Gerald.
Yep, good to have you on board. Oh, we've been talking with you too, Gerald, haven't we, on Meetup. So it's great to have you connect here as well. Welcome.
And just, hey, Peter, yeah, thanks, Gerald, for the location. That was awesome. We settled on the location.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Thanks. All right, so Lan, let's move into your area of expertise a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
So if you scroll down the next slide for everyone to see, Peter.
Yep.
Slide 3.
That is slide 3.
As you can see,
which one do you want, the poll?
So I think no, stay to slide 3. So the number of micro entities by turnover, as you can see, this is from the ATO. A definition of a micro entity is between $1 but less than $2 million. So you can see in 2008 to 9, there's only 2.1 mil, and then it's going up and up to 2012 is 2.3. So there's a trend that more and more businesses, actually 96% of businesses are micro entities. And however, the exit rates were highest for businesses from 0 to less than 50K turnover. So if you don't want to be one of the businesses that fail, then you need to really get over the 50,000 turnover range. And,
yeah, because I suppose at 50,000, you're really just making wages at that point anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, well, even less, because most of the people that start business are from professionals. So you'd think that you make more than 50,000 a year. And thanks, Peter. Next slide. I'll start off with a question for everyone in the room. How many businesses in Australia do you believe will not operate in, say, next 5 years? So just put a percentage out of 100. Do you think that for those that start up business from now to 5 years, how many think will not be in business? Thank you, Jared. That's very quick.
Okay, can I just interrupt there for a minute, Lan? I've had Wes say that he doesn't believe the slides are moving. Well, I'm not sure what your experience is. Can you tell me, guys, are you seeing the slide that has the 4 options on it? Because I'm moving the slides. I can't see them moving either. Okay. Show my screen. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, Lan, you keep talking with everybody. I'm going to play with the slides for a minute, and you.
So yes. So while Peter does that, can you? Yes, I've got. Okay, thank you. Just reading the answers. So 55%. I've got here from Gerald. Thank you. What else? 355 is saying, yeah. Yeah, so that's quite a staggering number. So you've heard the answer is 40%. So if you think about it, unfortunately, 4 out of 10 business in the room will not be operating by 2020, and that's a staggering number. And that means that in 5 years' time, like 40% of the people in this room will be doing a different business altogether. So that's something is raised concerns. Now, I would like to address why so many businesses in Australia is failing. Is it because, there could be a number of factors, but please put in the question. I mean, I want to bring it to everyone, back to everyone. Why do you believe is the #1 cause of business failure? And maybe from your experience or you've seen others. Yeah, just put in your answer. I've got
Okay.
factors.
Okay,
Yes,
so let
thank
me
you,
just
Peter.
check.
I
I've
can.
got a couple of
Yes,
people who have said the slides are moving again. You should see a slide
yes.
that's got the red and the blue bars on it. So if you can see that, well, then my job has been done. So if you can just give me some feedback if that's looking good for you. This is the joy of working with a Mac. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Okay. The joy of working with a Mac. There's lots of groundwork that goes on with those guys. So welcome. We got back. The gremlins aren't going to hijack us tonight. So it's great to get that sorted.
Okay,
All right. Back to you, Lan.
thank you. So, yeah, so if you would like to move to the next slide, Peter,
Yep.
slide 6.
There you go.
So it's not moving again.
I don't know.
Is it?
It should be
Is
coloured bars
can
showing now.
everyone see the color bars of pink, blue, and yellow, green?
Okay, yeah, it's all working, and no, I can't enlarge them, Warren. I've got it maximised on my screen as it is. So
Yep.
if
If you
you need
like
to,
if you
and
like
we will
these
be able
notes,
we'll be able to send you the slides at the end of the webinar anyway. If you need to go back and have a look at them, so that's all good.
so that slide, if you look at the graph anyway, the charts, you can see that 61%, which is the first one, pink, is inability to manage costs. So we're just talking about, Peter, the reason why businesses fail. And the first one is inability to manage costs. The second one being no business plan or no strategy, financial strategy around the model. So not having the right business model or business plan. That's
all right.
50%
Yep.
why business fail. And then going down the track is inexperienced management, so no experience in business can lead to business failure. And then 49% is insufficient capital. Now, only 37% is marketing and 26% is failure to seek professional advice. So if you just look at the graph, you can see that out of the 6 factors there, 5 out of 6 relates to lack of or no financial strategy. And I'm coming up the answers now from the poll, and people are saying, yeah, poor strategy advice or poor strategy is a good one.
Yep.
And no, just lack of financial. Yeah, so people do understand that the main cause of failure is that
Yeah, so
is
that's
lack of
been my
financial.
experience working with business owners too, is that they're passionate about their product, their idea, and they're really driven by getting it out to market. And then after they've been in business for a couple of years, I might meet them and then ask them, "Where's your business plan? Let's have a look at that so I know where we're going." And the business plan is the one that they started their business with, and they might have shown it to their accountant or their bank manager to get started, but they've been so busy doing work that they actually haven't updated the business plan. Their financial plan is, if I get an invoice out, well, then I'll get some money back in, and that seems to be about the extent of it. And
And have
yeah, go
sorry,
on. Sorry.
Peter. No, I was just saying, how about the one that did do the beautiful business plan and put it in the drawer and haven't seen it for the last 2 years or 5 years?
Well, that's it. Yeah. But it's that whole
The one
excitement of
that,
running a business and being busy
yeah.
that it's the lack of priority or the lack of understanding of what they should be doing because they're so busy out there doing stuff that they've lost track of what it is to run the business and to, and to build a life, because having a business is about having a lifestyle for yourself. Okay. Because if you're going to work really hard, you want to make sure that you've got the reward for it. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, Peter, just to check with everyone, is everyone can see that slide? So maybe move to slide 7.
Yeah. Okay. So, Suresh. No,
Just
still on slide 5. Okay. Lan, you just keep playing, and I'm going to find out why the gremlins are giving us a hard time here. Okay, so I'm going to
just answer the question if you've seen the slide. It should be you, the entrepreneur.
There you go. That's the last. That's it. That's the
There.
last trick I had up
Yep.
my sleeve.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that was what Lana's been talking about. Okay, and like I said, because of the gremlins and everything else, we will make the slides available at the end of the webinar. So things will make a bit more sense. So thanks for your patience on just getting that sorted.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bill's saying that very few people can create a business plan, and it's really, understand what it is and what it's all about. And so, Bill, are you right in saying that you're a startup mentor? Is that your position? Is that your business? Okay, so is there anything else you wanted to say with regards to that slide, Lan, now that we've got it back?
No. I think from the graph, people can see that there's so many reasons why business fails. So why get into business? Why suffer the pain of running your own business, Peter?
Yeah. Okay. So where this leads us to, and this is the passion that you and I both have, which is why we're working together. It's about the entrepreneur. I tell you what, my most favourite book. Can I share my most favourite book with you, Lan? In terms of business, it's called The E-Myth. Do you guys know it? It's Michael Gerber is the author, and he wrote it back in the late 80s, and I've had it at my bedside table just about since then. Every business I've run according to the E-Myth. I was even a church minister for a while, and I ran the church according to the E-Myth about empowering people. It's a great book on leadership, empowering, releasing, and developing the vision, and it was just awesome. I don't think there's anything that book can't help you with in terms of your personal and your business development. And it's the book that I still read at least once every 2 years, just to keep onto it, because he doesn't have to do it any differently, and there's no way of doing it any better. Like if you only read one book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber would be the one that I'd really bang on about a little bit too much.
And he talks, so
and The E-Myth Revisited, which is the revised version. Thanks, Gerald. Yeah.
So, Peter, you want to talk about, you, the entrepreneur, and being the expert in your field. What's different between an entrepreneur and just being a business owner?
A lot of it is just in your head, because everybody who's got a business has the potential to rise into the entrepreneur and to be the entrepreneur. It's more of, is it within you to do that? Because some people go, they'll say entrepreneur and they'll see in their head, they might see Richard Branson or Bill Gates, or think that, an entrepreneur is somebody big and high flying. But it's not. The entrepreneur is you. If you own a business, you're the entrepreneur. It's what do you want to do with it? And because the entrepreneur is the one who creates the vision, who sets everything up and really goes for it. And it gets down to the business planning. But, there's... Yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say, tell us about the Hedgehog Concept that you were talking to me just before the
all right. That's on the next slide. I'll bring that up in a minute for you. I just want to say that with the entrepreneur, it's really how you perceive the business opportunities, okay? Because it's like knowing we're supposed to floss our teeth or eat veggies every day. Like running a business and being the entrepreneur, some of the benefits are very clear. So the question is, why don't we do it? Why don't we get out and be passionate about our business? Why do we let other people tell us how good we are when we know how good we are when we're putting in the work? And, I get some excuses from clients and people that I'm speaking to about what's holding them back. And they're going, it's not necessary, or it's too unpredictable and that's why they're not going to bother, or it's too time consuming, or it's too hard. Reasons for their not pushing the business or starting the business or taking it that little bit further. They develop all these habits and excuses to hold them back, and then that justifies their not success. But I tell you what, there comes a point where you can be successful if you choose, and it's really being clear on the business plan, because it's the business plan that makes a difference. If you can make it work on paper, well, then there's a greater chance you're going to make it work in the real world.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'll tell you about the hedgehog, okay? Another author that I really love, Jim Collins, Good to Great. So he's got this principle called the Hedgehog Concept. And there's three three areas or three questions that he wants you to ask, or that he asks. And for each question, you want to give 3 to 5 answers for each of those questions. More if you can roll them out. Okay, so what you do is you look at those questions. You know, what can you be the best at in the world? What drives your economic engine? And what are you deeply passionate about? So those questions, answer them. Answer them 3 times, answer them 5 times, as many times as you can. And when you've answered them, look at the answers side by side and look for the commonality. What's the theme that's common? What comes out that keeps repeating itself? And that's what he calls the hedgehog concept. It's that one thing. Because in business, and because there are so many businesses and the opportunities are so great nowadays, that everybody can start a business. But as Lan told us earlier, that not everyone's going to be successful. So what we want to be really good at is knowing how we add value, how we do things differently. Okay, what is it that is going on in the marketplace? So when you're standing shoulder to shoulder with your clients, because this is what's going to happen, your clients are going to be looking at your competitors, they're going to be looking at you and your competitors and comparing you. So you need to not compete on price. Because if you're competing on price, you're just fighting over the chips basically and really struggling. So in your business model, you want to understand your competitors, and then you want to understand what makes you different. What is it that you're offering that your competitors are not offering? And then what is it?
It's very interesting.
Yeah, because then what is it you're not offering that you don't want to offer because all your competitors are doing it? Because when you start to bring in those nuances, you then stand out and you can't be compared dollar for dollar because your business is similar to your competitors, but what you're offering is so different that you then command the marketplace. Now, I said that really quickly, but when I work with clients, we'll spend hours just brainstorming those questions. And it's not uncommon. I did this with a client just before Christmas. We sat down and went through those questions. She walked into the office with one business, and as a result of looking at what's going on in the marketplace and how her business is going, she ended up walking out with a second business. We ended up developing a different business because we were able to open up a whole outsourcing arm that nobody else in her industry was offering. And so now she's got a second business that's going on that just sits so beautifully with hers. It's wonderful. But it's that time of planning and questioning that makes a difference. As you can tell, I'm passionate about it. That's what I like doing, Lan. You just got to butt in and stop me if I go too long.
Yeah, I think everyone who starts a business starts with passion and not just money, because running a business is non-stop. It's not, you can't switch off 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 job. So I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that in the room. So. Yeah. Let's go to the next slide. Gerald's made a great point
here too. He said that the entrepreneur is the person who seeks the opportunities that meets the challenges, and then the manager attempts to satisfy the challenges. So everybody's got a place, but where do you want to sit in there? So great, thanks for that, Gerald. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Gerald.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dick Smith said, find someone who is not doing it very well, then set up next door to them. I like that. I hadn't heard that one from Dick Smith, but that's what it is, because now you're standing in the marketplace with a very different offering, even though you're next to a competitor. So that's great. All right, so will we keep moving on?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's have a look at this. So this is my diagram of why the business, or the Success Business Accelerator exists. Because in the life cycle of a business, every business gets to a point where they have to make a decision. They've grown as much as they can with the knowledge that they've got and the marketing plan and the things that are going on, and then their business will start to plateau. Okay, this is just normal. Okay, every business will go through it. Where you stay, this is the question that you want to answer. So all businesses will get to that decision point where they're either going to plateau because they're too old, they're too slow, it's too hard, too complicated to do anything different. If it's been working, why change it, sort of stuff. All those stories that you've heard people have. So they can stay there and plateau, or if they stay there and plateau for too long, well, then they're going to decline and the business is going to drop away, which relates back to the numbers that Lan was sharing with us earlier. So the Success Business Accelerator exists at that decision point because we bring in the skills. we've got the skills. We have a group of strategic partners along with us that we introduce into the event at different times, who then bring their skills in to share with each one of us. So then, as a business, when you're at that decision point, you're then set in a place to grow. And then you go on your next growth spurt within the business, and then you get to the plateau again once you've exhausted that knowledge. Maybe you need different mentors, different programs, different whatevers that are going on, and you bring in a new set of skills, and then that will take you through the next growth phase. Lan, have you got anything you want to add to that?
No, that was beautifully put. I agree with you on those things. I mean, if you know, you said it well.
Yeah. No, thanks. Yeah. So ultimately, to be a success in business, you're going to need self-esteem, people skills, entrepreneurial skills. There has to be an element of discipline. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to be able to keep a track of your records of success. Like, you really got to know your numbers ultimately, and you've got to know the numbers. You've got to be fiscally literate. Like, you need to know your balance sheets, your profit, all the stuff that Lan is going to become the master of tax about.
I guess I want to. There's one thing that intrigues me, Peter, on your on this graph, is that at each stage you can be plateau at each stage. So regardless of how big you are or how small you are, you can be, if you don't innovate continuously, you can plateau and then decline.
Oh, so absolutely. Like, a massive example of that would be Kodak. Back in the day when Kodak didn't bring in the new skills and the new innovations. They didn't go digital. They had digital and let it go because they didn't think it was going to work, and they stayed with their film. And that's a massive example of what happens when you get to that place. So they then plateaued and then declined. But they were the market leader for years, but they needed to do something different because technology and life was changing. So yeah, doesn't matter who you are, there has to be that element of growth, and that growth brings about, has to bring some change in of some way.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. So will we keep moving?
You sure will.
This is my experience. So part of my experience as a business coach and working with business owners for the last 7 years is that the learning cycle for one-to-one coaching, it's really great when we get going, and then it has the potential, because the client gets busy, they're on their own, they're out doing it, and then the work falls off or the connection falls off, and then, a year later or 2 years later, they're back again going, hey, let's get back together again, I've got it all sorted. But what I'm finding, I've done a few mastermind groups before over the years, and what I find is that by doing the group work, it changes the whole dynamics. It brings in the accountability, the collaboration, the learning. It's a great opportunity to network and grow, and then it also brings in a whole different energy into the group. And so this is why the Success Business Accelerator exists, is because it's the next level, it's the next stage in getting coaching and getting mentoring. It's bringing that collaborative environment together, because we are a community. We are social, and so let's bring people together, and it also makes it really affordable, because you've got more people in the room that you can learn from, more people to share with, and so therefore the cost just plummets because of the contact that people can have.
And I'd just like to add, if you're experiencing hardship, or how to find the right staff member, or training staff, and there's 20 others in the room that experience the same hurdles as you, then you don't feel so alone in the business world, and so this is what the Success Business Accelerator will offer you, is a group, a group of people experiencing the same, and is also learning similar, and motivate each other to innovate and to excel in the business, to achieve ultimate goals and lifestyle.
Yeah, I know, that's a good point. And it's so true that we do think that we are so alone, and what we've got is so unique and so different sometimes in our problems or the struggles that we have. However, the way we experience it is our own experience. However, what the problem is It could be the marketing plan. It could be your business plan. So the bigger problem is still similar for everyone. It's how we all experience it. Then by sharing, we then, and being able to collaborate and understand that it's not a unique thing to you. However, it's something that other people have experienced, and we can learn from each other so well. And it does bring a strength into the group. So yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Okay. So let me do this. So of the group, I'm just going to take us back. Okay, so there's 5 elements to the Success Business Accelerator. We have focus, we have growth, we have numbers, strategies and tactics, and partnerships. They're 5 areas that Lana and I have sat down and identified that business owners that we believe that working in those areas with business owners will make such a massive difference for them. Okay, there's other areas. It's not a total and only area that we're working in. Over a 6-month period, we reckon for 6 months, if we had our top 5 topics that we're going to be looking at, this is what we're going to be doing. And so then Lan brings in her financial guru stuff. I'm bringing in the business coaching. But this is your strength, isn't it, Lan, to play in that environment? That's your passion.
Yeah, so it's really me helping you demystify the numbers for you. I mean, for all my colleagues and us, we find it very straightforward, and probably Gerald as well, because he's an accountant in the past. But you know, really how these numbers will mean to your business, and how each one will affect your profitability, or your how much tax you pay, your cash flow, everything. So just quickly, you know, ask the question in the room, probably which one is you want to learn more, or your weakest area that you want to talk about more tonight. If everyone can just put in, whether it be focus, growth, numbers, strategies and tactics, or partnership. So if everyone can just jot down which one that they feel that they would like to have more knowledge or skill on. So we would, yeah, Peter? So I'd like to know.
Yeah, so growth and numbers. Sarah's interested in the growth and numbers. Wes is interested in the growth. Gerald's interested in the growth. And Bill was saying that a large majority of startups plateau and that they need resurrection. And that's it. Some of them just need to be told, or need to be shown that it's not going to work. And I think with some clients, if I have 10 conversations, there could be, in terms of startups, I work a lot with startup coaches, and in the startup arena, it's with the coaches. And what I find is that they've come so fast from a corporate environment, they don't actually know what they're doing. And so sometimes it's having that conversation of, how's your business? You know, what is it you want and how's it going to go? Makes such a big difference in terms of not starting it. By not starting it can save them a whole lot of grief. I had one client just before Christmas again who had bought a promotional branding business, you know, doing cups, caps, all that sort of stuff. They'd never worked they didn't know the internet. They didn't know how it worked. They didn't know online sales. They didn't know online marketing. They didn't understand their business. They just were told that this is a great opportunity. They purchased it and hadn't made a sale in a month. And they came to me looking to purchase one of my products, which was content creation. And I couldn't sell it to them because they had no business plan, they had no financial plan, they had no idea what they wanted to do. And so I sat down with them for about a day and we went through different bits and pieces. And just ultimately they put the whole thing to bed because it wasn't a profit. It wasn't going to be a viable business. It was going to cause them a lot of grief. And that saved them years of grief and bankruptcy by identifying not problem as strong as it is by identifying problem.
Yep.
Okay.
That's great, Peter. So I guess now we're going to talk through each one and, you know, really say what are the key aspects of focus, growth, numbers, strategies and tactics and partnership. So if you can move to the next slide, Peter.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what do you want to talk to us about? Tell us about focus.
I think because a lot of people who said they want to know about growth and numbers, so I'll just quickly touch on focus and then can move on to the next one. Focus, I have a great fun exercise to demonstrate the power of focus. So just if everyone can just work with me. So if you're in a room and you can focus on every item that is orange in the room, like for six. So orange, okay?
Yep, I'm doing that
Now,
now.
okay, so everyone close your eyes and then put in a chat box or tell us how many things you can remember that is black.
Oh, okay.
No, with no cheating, okay? Okay, so now while I get the answers, all right, you can open your eyes and type in.
That'll make it easier.
So while we wait, 3. Wow, Melissa, okay. Anyone else can see any black? If I 0, Wes, thank you for being honest. Lance tricking you tonight.
Yeah, that's
Anyone else?
interesting. No, I got
If
2,
everyone
and I got lots of
2,
things in here when I
okay.
look around.
So everyone else is no answer means 0, I'm assuming. So only Melissa, who is psychic, can see 3, but everyone, because I knew they were there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Melissa. But so see, the purpose of this fun exercise is to say that, if you say your goals are black and, you kept on focusing on orange, then you're not going to really achieve far with your business goal, is it? So that's why focus is important. So a lot of business startups tend to go, oh, how can I set up my new office? Or, let's go looking for networking events that I can, just meet new people or hire my first reception or, So those are the things that are really not your focus as a business startup at that cycle. Your year 1, and that's why the 5-year plan is important. Year 1 to year 5, there are certain things you need to do right now, and there's certain things you need to do year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So year 1 is really just to get your ABN, your structure right, your, maybe record keeping right, and get that first customer, build, get some clients. That's it. So no need to set up office, no need to hire any staff. So, and subcontract, because you don't need to put, don't have enough staff. Not enough work in the next 3 months and then lay off staff. I mean, that's not the way how to run a first-year business. Do you experience any of that for your during your coaching, Peter?
Yeah, so it ultimately gets down to what you're giving your attention to is where you're going to be driving your attention as well. So it's what you're focusing on. So if you're looking at the orange, like you're saying, which is not business, and then looking at everything and not looking at business, well, then they're the results you're going to get. I remember when, years ago, in 2006, I did a defensive driving course. And that was really interesting because I've driven all my life. However, I'd never driven a car like we did in the defensive driving course. It was absolutely fantastic. Scary as all heck. So we were out the back of Tullamarine somewhere, and they had this massive concrete area that was circular, and they put the water all over it. And with the instructor in the car, I had to keep driving around the circle and driving around the circle faster and faster and faster. And he kept going, faster, faster, faster. And I kept going, I'm going fast. So I thought I was going fast because then what he wanted was the car to lose control. He wanted the back end of the car to spin out. And I'm going faster and he's going faster, faster. And then as we get to that point where the back end loses control, what he was telling me is where you want to go is where you want to be looking. Okay. You're not looking at where the car is going. You want to look where you want to go. Okay, so that was the way I had to correct the car. So as I'm looking at the paddock that I don't want to be in, he then grabs my head, turns it and says, that's where you want to go, down that track. And so even though the car was facing where I didn't want to go, I had my head looking to where I wanted to go, and then I was able to correct and do it that way. So it's what I gave my attention to that made the difference. And that's what I found is my experience in business, is what you give your attention to are the results that you get.
Yeah, and so in this Success Business Accelerator mentoring program, we will help you develop your 5-year plan, and really help you decide what you need to do in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and also fit in there the budget of each year so that you know what to focus. Focus on your blacks, not your orange. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move to growth now.
Okay, let's get on to that. Okay. Alrighty. So this really gets down to talking about how you sell and market your business. This is about your lead generation, your customers or your prospects as they first appear, and then what's the growth and what's the niche that you're working in. A little bit of what we talked about earlier in terms of really understanding who you are and the difference that you're bringing to the marketplace. So this is about how you stand in the marketplace. It's got to do with your marketing, your branding, all of that sort of stuff will promote the growth within the business. So we spend a lot of time here, and then as businesses require and as people require, well then we'll make sure that we've got the expertise in the room to move you into that area, because there's so many different things to be looking at. But part of it is just getting that whole life cycle of the client together. What's your marketing plan for doing your lead generation and getting in touch with a client, all the way to when you're closing and sending an invoice? So we build that whole supply chain with you, so you really understand the growth of the business and the function of the business to ensure that you're getting the most out of it, and you understand who your client is and being able to work with them. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this one. Your favourite, Lan?
Oh, well, yes. All of them are my favourites. Numbers, oh yes. Well, we're not as exciting as that calculator, I'm sure you, but we're more. So we're more than. So really, numbers. The two things that any business should know is really their break-even point. Now, that's not the break. It's not the when you have a nervous breakdown. Okay, a break-even point is really the point at which revenue that you receive equals to the costs associated to receiving that revenue. Okay, so break-even analysis calculates what you know as a margin of safety, the amount that revenues exceed the break-even point. So I work with my clients a lot on this point. And so say if you need to earn $1,000 a week before you get your first dollar profit, well, you need to know that point, because if you're not making that enough sales, then there's no point in going in business, because it's just out of your pocket that you're contributing to your business. So in the Success Business Accelerator, I will help and you identify and calculate the break-even point for each of your businesses. The next thing that we will also help you is to understand the 5 key numbers that will increase profitability. Okay, so the one number, for example, the one number that every business owner would need to know for their business, which I won't reveal, but the key life indicator. How to calculate revenue, okay, and what's the difference between turnover and so all the and gross margin, and what is profit. Okay, so a lot of people say, well, I show in my profit and loss this number, but I don't see it in the bank. What's the difference? So just really demystifying it for you and showing you the tips of how to read that number and the importance of it for your financial success in your business. And we have fabulous tools like Zero and Spotlight reporting to help you achieve that.
Yeah. Hey, Lan, your sound is a bit crackly. Can you just check your headset or your microphone to make sure that that's okay? Because I'm not sure what everyone else is experiencing, but it's come across a little bit crackly at the moment.
Okay, so you can hear me clearly now?
No. You've still got the crackle. So I don't know where it's come from. See what you can do, and I'm going to talk about the strategies and tactics. This is one of my favourite areas, because this is really getting down to pulling the plan or building the plan, as I said earlier, about getting your supply chain right, really understanding all the steps and all the subsets of the contact points of the business for the clients and how it's all going to work. and it's all the elements of the business that come through, because it's great to have a plan. It's great to have an idea. However, what's the strategy that you're going to employ to get them? The strategies are going to be your business plan, your marketing plan, your financial plan, your operational plan. What are the things that the strategies you got in place to achieve the goals that you want to set? Because you will determine your goals. You're going to set your goals, get really clear on that, and then get really clear on why those goals are important to you. Because earning the money is part of the running a business. What's the money going to give you? What's the point of having that volume of money that you're looking to achieve? What is it you want to do? Is it the holidays? Is it the investments? Is it setting up the financial security for the future? There's a reason for earning money, and what is it you want to do with it? Because just earning a particular volume doesn't have as much weight as I want to go on holidays, 5-star holidays every year. I want to have an investment property, purchase a new investment property each year, or I want to set the kids up so then they've got an annuity for later on. It could be any and every reason, and they're your reasons, and there's no judgment on anything because it's what's important to you. So we'll work together and give you an understanding of the strategies, and then the tactics. So what are the steps you're going to take? What are the steps you're going to take to achieve those targets you set for yourself? Because this is the fun part of business. And, it's that whole balancing act of bringing everything together. And this is part of what, my mentor, guru, the man I'm in love with, Michael Gerber, this is all about systemizing. It's the systems you bring in. What is it you do in the business that you can replicate and get other people to do? Okay, this is where the strategies and tactics come in. You've got to have plans. You've got to know your numbers. You've got to have your steps, and everything's got to have a purpose and meaning. Okay, so that's what that's about. Are you back with us?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, it's come across really nice. Whatever you did worked really well.
I probably was too excited on the numbers section. That's why.
You burned it out.
So okay. We've got the really next slide that's quite enjoyable. I quite like.
Yeah.
If you can reveal that to everyone.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us.
So my favorite superhero there.
Which one is it? All right. Okay.
So
this is really you and I in action, isn't it? We are the partnership.
Yep.
Lan and I met.
Yeah.
18 months ago, and we just connected straight away, and it has been a really great partnership in terms of we both work with a similar client. However, we provide different services to that client. So then we've been able to build this synergistic relationship where we can support each other, we refer to each other, and being able to build this business together because we've found a way that we can strengthen our offering to our clients, our individual clients, and then it also then creates a lot more strength within the team and with the people. Is that your experience, or am I my own here?
Yeah, yes, it's been wonderful to work with you, Peter. I very enjoy it, and just partnership as well. If in a Success Business Accelerator, you'll meet other industries and businesses that perhaps you can form alliances with, that you can help, like McDonald's and say their upcoming films like what is it, Minions, where they have the packaging of Minions on. So when the kids, before they go to the movies, they go, Mum, they have to have Macca's, and so Macca's shows the Minions. Mum, I want to watch this movie. So that's perfect partnership.
Yeah. There's a question here from Leah, and she's asking, is online marketing the best strategy nowadays? It certainly is. The best way to answer that is it depends on what you're selling and to whom you're selling. It's certainly something that we all want to be aware of and certainly have enough understanding to know whether it does work or not, okay? Because it's a matter of what you're selling. However, everybody, I would think, I can't think of any business really that wouldn't need an online presence because we do our online searches. We're Googling, we're Binging, whatever it is you're using, and people are doing the shopping. Like this Christmas, there was a lot of shop sales that were done you know, in the Woolworths and the Westfields, or not the Woolworths, in the Westfields around the place. And so, but there's still a lot of work that's going online. But there gets a point where you've got to make sure that you know what your ideal client wants, because the best way to answer that question is you need to know who your ideal client is, and we call that the avatar. And we spend a lot of time developing the avatar, or you develop your avatar, and we'll take you through some processes for that, because then everything within your business plan revolves around that. So the question is, do you need a Facebook page? I don't know. The answer to that is your avatar on Facebook? Now, we might have a Facebook page because it's part of a SEO strategy, which is your search engine optimization, because it's about being found through Google and Bing and the other search engines. However, you mightn't necessarily market on Facebook if your ideal client isn't there. So it's being really clear on where your client is to know where you're going to spend your budget. Your client might be on LinkedIn, so you might put a campaign together on LinkedIn to attract your client, or you might be selling broader and put something up on Google AdWords. So it's really being clear on who your client is to really understand the best strategy for online marketing, and is online marketing the way to get to your client? Okay, I know that was a long answer, Leah, but I really wanted to say it like that.
Fantastic response. Yeah, so that's right. But having some online presence, potential customers always look you online first before they want to connect with you anyway. So having the right online presence is so important. So thank you for that, Peter. Shall we
part of
go
that
on
also
the next?
is your profile. What's your profile say about you online, or your online profile say about you? Because then how you present is the experience that people are going to have with you. Is it your photograph that's looking good? What's the language? And when you do a Google search on yourself or your business, what is it your clients are going to see that you've got up there? And so it's always wanting to be in that position of what is the experience of your avatar and how they're going to see you. Alrighty, so let's keep moving it along. Okay, so this is kind of like an overview of how change is going to come about. So in business, if you've experienced false starts, frustration, resistance, anxiety, and confusion, there's a good chance that it's because one of these areas has been missing. So black represents the missing link. Okay, so if you've been feeling anxious in the business, there's certain skills that you've probably been missing. Okay, you've got the vision, you've got the right incentives for your clients and for your staff, you've got resources, you've even got an action plan, but you're lacking the skills. Well, then there's going to be that time when you're going to be feeling anxious within the business. Okay, so you can have your vision and your skills and your incentives and your resources, but you've got no action plan. So you're just going to spend a life of false starts because you get so far, and then you're not going to be able to market anything because you don't know how, or you're not uncertain or not clear. So this is a great example. It's been simplified so beautifully, and then at the same time, it is so complex that this is where what we've modelled the Success Business Accelerator around. It's the 5 skills that we've really had a look at work so well in this area because they've been our experience as well. Like starting up your business, we don't know everything. There's no way that you can know everything about business just by, on your own. You don't inherit it. You don't, pick it up through osmosis. You've got to go and ask questions. You've got to get mentors. You've got to get coaches. You've got to be taught and educated. And that's why Lan and I both have, as professional development and personal development, part of our routine every year. There's new courses, new learnings, new things to make sure that we understand what's going on. We've got mentors that look after us as well to make sure that we're being looked after.
Yeah. Hey Peter, I want to ask everyone what they're feeling right now in their business. So change, confusion, anxiety, resistance, frustration, and out of the 5, which one do they feel most? Because that would, just put in the question box because that would tell you which of the black or the gaps is missing in your current business model, your skill set. So if you can just answer that for me.
Yep. Okay.
Because when I saw this first with you, I thought this is gold. I like this is my favorite slide because even as being in business for over 16 years now, or as an accountant as well, some days I feel all of them. And that's not a good day.
Yeah.
But most days, you'll feel one of them or once a week. So, and then you go, oh, so I'm feeling that way because my gap in say my vision is too busy in the busy in the business, and
Yeah.
set aside the vision, revisit. So starting to get the answers in now.
Okay, so we've got Melissa who experiences or has experienced resistance, and Gerald has resources down there. So does that mean that relates back to frustration? Sarah's saying confusion is mine and not having a clear vision. And yeah, there's been a couple of startups that I've had where it's been the false starts. It's not having the action plan, which was really frustrating because I was so super excited and going, oh, this is really great. However, I failed to execute. I didn't have the action plan to really make it all happen. And then part of that for me was my focus was all over the shop. And so then through the mentors that I had and the help I received, then I was able to identify that and then move on, so which has been really great. Lee is saying my main issue is to find the customers I'm interested in, people 18 to 30 who need life coaching. What is the best strategy to reach them? Okay, so then that is really talking about getting down to niching even more. So the people who are 18 to 30, are they 18 or are they 30 or are they, what is the age that you're looking at, or is it that group? And then what is the issue that you're addressing for those people? Because you want to look at the pain that they have. You want to be able to identify the solution that you bring, which is the program that you've got or the way that you work with them. And as a result of identifying the pain and providing the solution, there's a benefit they get as a result of working with you. And so you need to be able to articulate the benefit that they're going to get as a result of working with you. It could be freedom, lifestyle. It could be clarity. It's really understanding the pain, the solution, and the benefit of of what it is that you're bringing to the client, and then that will help you have a bit more understanding of the strategy that you want to develop for them. Okay, given the time that we've got, that's the best answer I can give you, but I'm happy to have a bigger chat with you, Leah, if you want to just catch me on Meetup, and then we can have a chat there as well, or we can connect in other ways.
Okay, so Peter can go on. So really, while Peter moves to the next slide, how many people, so many clients during the week has said to me, congratulations of launching this Success Business Accelerator concept, but I'm really too busy to perhaps, register for the webinar, or too busy to maybe attend even, because I have to attend to quotes, invoice, find clients, or just work in my business, so congratulations for everyone who is serious about working on the business, which is different to working in the business, as Michael Gerber did say in his book. So we are practicing the principles, and I've got a story, here about when I was growing up, about a woodcutter trying to saw down a tree, where a young man was watching and asked, "What are you doing?" And "Are you blind?" the woodcutter said, and I'm cutting down the tree as fast as I can. But the young man said, "But you look exhausted. Take a break. Sharpen the sword that you're using to cut the tree." Now the woodcutter explained to the young man that he had been sawing for over 5 hours, and so he doesn't have time to take a break. But the young man pushed back and said, "Well, look at your saw. It's completely, so blunt. So if you don't have time to sharpen the saw," this is the model or the story, then you're never going to cut that tree down, even if it's in 5 hours. So today, I congratulate you that you are taking 1 hour of your time to really sharpen your saw to your tree is your business, not cutting down the business, but really, sharpening your vision to get the clarity that you need to take it to the next level. Peter, would you like to add anything to that?
I like that story. It's really cool because there is such a time when you need to stop and you need to look at your business. Every now and then with my clients, I'm over in Doncaster, and so once a year, once a quarter, once every half year, we'll go up to the Heidi Gallery and we'll do a session there. And it's completely different. We're out of the office, we're in the open, we're in a creative environment, and we're doing our business strategy sessions there. Because then it opens up new neural pathways for them. It gives them another way of looking at things. So they're away from their clients, they're away from the phones, they're away from everything else. And so, yeah, I really like that example because I've actually seen it work so well. Where taking a couple of hours out just pays back over and over and over again to the clients. Like, that's not time that's lost or the time they have to make up. It's time that actually gives them a lot more clarity so they can become more efficient. I like that. Sorry, can I use it again? Or use it? I like it, Lon.
Yeah, well, that was told by it can be applied to everything you do, actually, not just your business as well. So that's why we're so that leads to our question time. But we probably don't have much time for questions.
Is that what we want?
Do we have?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're doing questions as we go along. Okay, Gerald's got this. Too busy is an excuse, not a reason. If you heard from a solicitor that you'd been left $1 million but had been into her office at 9 a.m. tomorrow, you'd be into her office 9 a.m. tomorrow. So how many would say, sorry, I'm too busy? You know, of course you're going to make the effort to get there. Yeah. And it's exactly it. When it's important and when you can see the benefit, well, then you're going to step into it. Exactly right. Okay, so will we talk about the program a little bit?
Yes, let's do that.
All right. Okay, so I couldn't get the table of value on one slide, so I've had to spread it over 2 slides so I can make it big enough for everyone to see. So this is what we're offering within the Success Business Accelerator. It's a 6-month program, and it's really working with you in the group environment to ensure that you get the attention, you get the knowledge, you get the skills, you get the collaboration and the accountability to really build your business. So it's taking a 12-month program, and what we do in 12 months, we're bringing it down to 6 months because why wait, you know? Time's getting by, and we're getting people together for 6 months. Once a month, we're getting in the room, and we're going to be together from 4 to 5 hours at a time to really work through the sessions that we've got. And then a lot of it is also then going to be driven by the need of everybody in the room. And so we've got the program, and then we're going to collaborate with you guys to make sure that we're delivering it and giving you what it is you need right now, because it's building your business. It's making you sales. We want to be at that place where the sales are made and the business is going to grow according to what you're after. Okay, so you've got the sessions that are there, and then it's also the implementation, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I've been to so many different sessions and professional development days or afternoons or whatever, where you learn a truckload of stuff and then you're left to then go home and then sort it through. And I tell you what, by the time I get home and then you get into life and sit at the computer or do stuff with the family or getting back into business or going to a networking event, whatever's going on, that the implementation really takes almost the second place because life takes over. So part of the strength of what we're offering here is that we want to put it together as implementation is part of what we do. So what we teach and what you're taught on the day, if there's parts of it that need to be implemented, well, we're going to do it together in the room. Okay, we're going to at least get you started so then you have a really clear understanding of what's going on. So your success is our success, and you making money and getting your clients and building your business is the strength of what the program's about, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so, Lan, did you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to point out that just for those to help people read the thing, so on the description is what you get. So maybe go back to the first slide. So, you know, you get gear 1, so the monthly, that's what you get, because we've been talking about those 5 gears or 5 elements, and then each session will be theory and then implementation. So I will actually help you do your 5-year plan at the session. You will not leave until you get that done. So that's how committed we are to helping you. And so with growth, numbers, strategy, tactics, and partnership, the plan is there to get you your own personal plan to get your business to grow and to understand your business numbers. And the value of that is the $2,000 next to each one. In the membership package also includes the closed Facebook group exclusive for members, email, phone support. We'll have webinars fortnightly, you should say, yep, and invitation to 2 of our other wealth development workshops, which I will do or Peter will do. I just wanted to point that out to everyone.
No, that's great, because it's what I've noticed is that it's meeting once a month is great. However, it can be a long time in between drinks, which is why we put the membership package together. So there's the Facebook group where we can talk and answer your questions in real time. If it's happening today, post it up onto Facebook, into the closed group, and then everyone can collaborate with you, give you some feedback. There's the webinar where it's a live Q&A webinar, and we'll do that. And then there's also the phone and email support. We're going to dedicate a day or one day or portion of one day a week to just open up the phones and just have a chat. If you need to get on the phone and ask questions, there'll be a time when we put the schedule together where you can then call in, and then either Lana or myself will be able to go through with you and answer the questions, because it's there to support you. And we want to be there to ensure that you get the growth that you need, because our success is going to be your success. So we're here to make sure that you get everything you need to get across the line. And then some of the bonuses we've got there is that the hot seat, which means that each week or each month we're going to showcase a different business from the people who are in the room, and really have that time to go through and talk about your business, have a look at your online presence, have a look at your marketing, whatever you've got, we're going to have a look at as a group, and we're going to work together as your comrades in arms. Okay, we're going to look at it. We're going to give you real-time feedback. It's from Lana and myself, and it's also from the people in the room who will be giving you feedback as well. What's working? What do they notice? And then you can get some really great feedback from all of that. We've got the expert presenters that are going to come in. You'll have the opportunity to have your marketing systems critiqued. We've got a time management course that will be given to you as well. And then the trainings of the guest speakers will be recorded and posted up onto a membership site. And then you also have the opportunity to have a one-on-one session with Lan, and then a one-on-one session with myself. And then at the end of 6 months, we party. There's no point doing all the hard work if you don't relax.
That is so important, isn't it? And you'll be partying with 20 or other entrepreneurs that have gone during that journey with you. And you can see, I'm a numbers person, so you can see the value, $45,000 there, $853. Well, that's the value that you'll get out of during the 6-month program, which is really about 60 hours of coaching of business and financial or coaching. And it means that you I think there's an amount saying you only pay $5,987 for the value of $45,853. Now I think see that as an investment, and I think we have if you cannot generate $5,987,000 or even double that more than after 6 months, we'll even return your money back. And as long as you commit to follow every all the steps and the gears that we have shown you and do to take part of each of the session, so that's a guarantee for you. So if you don't double, or the revenue that you have at the end of the 6 months, we will refund your money.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's our guarantee for you, because I've gone through this program, and remember Peter has started up 4 businesses, and I've done 16 years business. And if I had this program from day one, the first year, Peter, I think I wouldn't need that long to start up my second office. It wasn't like anything like this when we started our business. So this is our gift to you today.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. So what have we got? So this is what we're going to be doing on a rough schedule of what we're going to be doing in the room each month. We have the accountability. And so on the first month, this will kind of kick in on the second month. So each session we do goal setting. At the end of the session, we set the goals of what we want to achieve the following month. So the first session, we're going to be looking at the avatar, and developing the avatar and going through that whole process of working out who that person is and relate back to everything I said earlier. So we look at getting the goals, setting your avatar, really getting clear on the business that you're in, the business model that you've got. And then at the end of each session, you set the goals of what it is you're looking to achieve over the next 30 days. So then when we get back into the room, the first session is the accountability. Okay, Lan, tell us what the goals were that you set for yourself and what did you achieve? And then we want no punches pulled, what worked, what didn't work, what did you know, and we'll have a chat about it. The group is going to give feedback because we're all going to have some ideas as to what's going on. Okay, so these groups, you know, we want to make sure that it's a great environment for learning. It's a great environment to feel comfortable and confident in. So what happens in the room, same as Fight Club, stays in the room, okay? We want that air of confidence and confidentiality so then we can be free to share and free to grow, okay? So then we've got the learning with the strategic partner that comes in. We have the time for implementation, which is everything we said earlier. Then we do a hot seat. Then we have the accountability. We set the projects and the goals for the following week. And then through the course of the morning, we've got networking. Before the event starts, get there early and do some networking. We've got a mid-session break to do some networking. And then at the end, hang out, get together and do some lunch, get together and start forming some strategic partnerships with people, do whatever you need to do. And we're going to provide the opportunity and the environment for you to do some networking in. So that's roughly what we're going to be doing each month. And then, you know, on the weekly basis, like we said, there's webinars, phone supports, Facebook groups. We want to make sure that you guys are covered, okay? We want to give you what it is you need to be successful and make sure that you get everything that you're needing. Did I miss anything out, Lan?
No, perfect. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, what do we got? Okay, so go on, you talk.
No, I did promise, we did promise on the thing that there will be a bonus for people who did register for tonight only and for those who didn't register because they were so busy. So tonight we're offering everyone who made the time 5% discount for full payment. So the full payment is $5,987, is that, Peter?
Yep.
So that's for, again, yeah, $5,987. That's for a 6-month program. So over 60 hours of financial and business coaching with myself and Peter and other experts in that we may invite during the course of the 6 months. So that's 5% off $5,985. It's about $500 extra saving for you. B is that we also know that sometimes in business you have a business associate or a partner that you would like to attend, because like husband and wife, or you know, like if you have a business partner that's working in the business with you, and it would be great if they can also share the vision that you have you know, developed through the program. So it's 2-for-1 offer, so you can choose one person and for the price of one, or you know, for free really. So, and 3, our third option is deposit 50% now and the balance by month 3. So those are the 3 options that we you know, a bonus that we're giving to our attendees today. And you just have to type in the promo code Accelerate on the screen.
Yep, so I've just sent everybody a link that takes them to the page. It's got the Eventbrite set up on that. So you all should have received that now. So if you haven't got that sitting there in your question and answer box, let me know and I'll send it off again, but you should have all received that link. And by going there, when you get to the Eventbrite page, you'll see a section where it says promotional code. Type in the word Accelerate, whether it's not case sensitive, and don't put the quotation marks in, and then you'll be fine. And then that just follow through that, and then that will get you registered for the event. We launch and we go live on the 17th of February, and we're excited about doing this. This is our passion. This is Lan's passion and my passion to work with you, to see you build a business that has strength, that has your lifestyle stamped on it, and it has the opportunity to fulfill your dreams. Okay, that's what we want to work for. That's our dream, is to have your dream fulfilled, because then we're working together. This is our business, and then we want to work with you to build your business, because the more successful you are, well, then the strength of our program grows as well. It's a synergetic thing. This is part of the partnership. We work together. We'll work with you and give you whatever you need that we can physically and possibly give you to ensure that your success is met along the way. Okay. Okay. So the guest speakers, we've got people who are going to be speaking on SEO, social media, teaching on public speaking and presenting. We have marketing. We've even got a photographer lined up to come and talk about how to set yourself in terms of photographs, promotional shots. They'll put together some packages for us that only people in the room are going to benefit from. That it's beyond. It's not a package that they're going to offer to anyone else outside of the room to get your headshots done, to make sure that it's professional and you're sitting right. So, and then some of it is also going to be about what are the needs in the room. We have a great network of different people, and so we're going to find out what the need is within the room, and then we'll bring in the appropriate people to speak to the group. Okay, so in each group, we were looking for a minimum of 10 businesses with no more than 20. Okay, after 20, well, then we'll start a second group. But we don't want any more than 20, because then at that point, if people are bringing 2 people in, well, then that's a big room, and that's big enough, because we want to make sure that Lana and I are able to spend time to get to know each and every one that's in the room, and really have the opportunity then to work with you outside of the room as well, in terms of doing the webinars, doing the phone support, having time to answer you on Facebook, because this isn't an online program where you just pay your money and walk away. This is Lana and I physically fronting up and working with you, getting on the coalface and doing what we can to support you. Okay, so this is the difference, you know. So there's no helpline. It's Facebook. It's our telephone numbers. It's our email addresses, and that's the help. It's us answering the phone and responding back to you to make sure that you've got the questions answered that you need. I don't think we can be any more real and any more personable than what we're offering at the moment. I think we've got it all covered. Is there anything that I've missed, Lan? How are we going with all of that?
No, as I was saying, you know, think of it as an investment, because I'm a property investor myself, and if the return on investment is, you know, 5 times, it's a good investment. And I don't see why everyone can't make an extra, you know, 25 or even 50,000 coming to this course. It really depends on how committed you are, but we've got the secret recipe, or you know, that has helped our businesses elevate to where it is now. And you know, it's all about collaboration too. So it's not, you know, we learn from each other as well. But obviously, the experts in the room have gone through what some of the clients, what everyone has experienced in their different business cycles. So I think that's what I just wanted to add.
Yeah. Now I've just had somebody type in and say that the link wasn't working, so I'm just going in and having a bit of a play. So if there is a problem, I'm going to get that sorted really quickly for us to make sure that it's not too silly. All right, so let's have a look at that. Okay. All right, bear with me. Lan, we are nearly at the end of our time, so we're going to start wrapping it up now. And folks, I'm going to make sure that that link is working, so hang on to that link. It'll be current and it'll be good very shortly. I'll just find out why that is giving us some grief, and then you're going to be fine. Alrighty, so okay, all right, I found the problem. All right, give me 2 minutes, anyone that and I will have that sorted. Yeah.
Sure.
That was my typo.
Oh, okay. Yep. I did say we should use a. Anyway, if anyone has any other questions for myself or Peter, just let me know. If there's anything that you'd like that to you know, any other experts brought in specifically, yeah, please let us know, because in the this 6 month is really the initial one. It's the fast track essential. So then if all goes well, we will you know, by the demand of the crowd, then we will launch the Master Series next. So it's not meant to cover everything, but it's definitely cover enough for you to achieve what you want to achieve, which is growth, or understand your numbers, or whether. So that's it.
Yep. Okay. So just wrapping it up and saying goodbye, we thank you and appreciate your attention and being a part of the webinar, and definitely the contribution that you all made, because Lan and I could talk forever. However, it's great to have the interaction. It's great to have your insights, and we really appreciate that. The links have been fixed up on Eventbrite, so go back and check them, and they'll be working again now for you. That was my typo, so apologies for that little bit of an inconvenience, but that's all working again. The slides will be available, and we'll be sending out some emails to thank you and to send those slides out to you as well. So from Lan and myself, I would like to say thank you. And
thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and we look forward to connecting with you very soon and seeing you in the room on the 17th. It's going to be awesome. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. And remember, it does close 5 p.m. on Fridays if you'd like the 5% discount. Otherwise, it'll go back to the full price after that. So, yeah, I would like you to see everyone, meet you personally in next month.
That'll be brilliant. Me too. All right.
Have a good evening, everyone.
We'll talk to everyone soon. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.